Hi everyone, Darlene Arneson here. I am the president of Sons of Norway-Mandt Lodge, and we are going to share with you some information about Christmas in Norway. So we are going to get started. So Christmas, a special holiday in Norway as well. And they have lots of different traditions, just like we have traditions here. Going to pick the Christmas tree is a big thing. A lot of times in Norway, they don't do it until really close to Christmas. So here, sometimes it seems like people are putting them up at Thanksgiving, but they don't have celebrate Thanksgiving in Norway. And so a lot of times it's that week before Christmas, a few days before Christmas, that we'll see the Christmas trees going up. And as you can see on the right-hand side, this is one of the streets in Norway with, with celebrating the Christmas shopping and also some of the other traditions. So one of the things that in Norway that they do is they always suggest you have 7 cookies on hand at Christmas time, so that if guests or visitors come, you have plenty of cookies to share with them. So there's kind of a set 7 cookies, but it really doesn't matter. As long as you have 7, you're kind of following the tradition. But the ones that they typically have will be donut rings or smultringer, and then they have sandkaker, which is sand cakes, syrup snipper, which are syrup snaps. They're almost like a ginger snap, Berlinerkranser or Berlin wreaths, guro, krumkaka or the curve cake or cone cake, and fatiman, which is the poor man's cookies. So the families will start baking their cookies, and again, it is to make sure that if somebody stops in, you have a nice variety of cookies to share with them. Other traditional foods that they have, a kransekake is on the left. We talked about the kransekakes in the food video, so if you've watched that one, you've seen that. And now here's a good picture of what I was trying to describe. Those kind of silver color things, if you pull them apart, they actually have like jokes or sayings inside. So like at a wedding or at a special event, a birthday, the sayings will have something to do about a wedding or about a birthday. On the right-hand side is ribba. This is pork ribs, and this is very traditional for Christmas Eve to have. And so many families will be celebrating by eating that. Julebord is like a smorgasbord, but it's a Christmas smorgasbord, or Christmas table is the exact translation. And these are often breakfast or almost like a brunch, where there'll be meats and eggs and fish and vegetables and desserts and so on. We went to one in Oslo a number of years ago when we were there for Christmas, and it was just amazing, all the different foods that they had. Well, Lutefisk is kind of a fun thing that the Norwegians will celebrate, and there's lots of jokes about lutefisk. Everybody says it smells and it's jelly and so forth, but we always say that if it's cooked right, then it tastes good. So lutefisk is actually codfish, and so you can see all the cod that are hanging here. Back during the war, they didn't have a good way to store the fish, and so they would hang them or dry them, and then they would soak them in lye and then in water, and then they could prepare them. So on the left-hand side is a picture of lutefisk on the bottom. This is my Uncle Cliff. He makes the best lutefisk ever. So when we have our big family event, we'll eat about 40 pounds of lutefisk that day. And it's just great. It's my favorite meal of the year. And for me, the best way to eat it is to take a piece of lefse to lay it on the plate. Then I put some mashed potatoes in, I put some rutabaga, I put some cranberries in for a little color, and then I fill it up with lutefisk. And you always have to check for bones. Hopefully they boned it pretty good, but if not, then you have to take the bones out. And then I roll it up, and I call that my Norwegian burrito, and it's just great. And I can eat 3 of them, and then I better stop. The other thing that I like if I'm going to have lutefisk is on the right-hand side is rummagrot. So I say once I eat my 3 lutefisk burritos, then I have rummagrot, which is a cream porridge. And we also talked about this in the foods video, and that kind of fills in all the gaps in my stomach. So rummagrot is a heavy cream porridge. It's served hot with cinnamon sugar on top, and it also is really good. So we have some characters in Norway. The Nisse and Tomtens are really cool characters. They tend to live out in the barn, and they take care of things. The Tomtens especially are the farm kind of trolls or Nisse and they take care of things. So for example, like if somebody forgot to shut a door on the barn, the Nisse and the Tomtens will close the door. If a cow got loose, they would help get them tied up. Or if the fence was left open or the gate, they would close that. So they take care of the farm during the year. But the key, and you can see this in the bottom picture, is that on Christmas Eve, what the farmers are supposed to do is to make a big bowl of porridge for the Tomtens and put a big pat of butter, and that's their thank you for the year. And if you forget to do that, then they'll be mischievous. So we have done this tradition at our house. We have a beautiful book about the Tomtens that I read to our children when they were little, and then we always put the rice porridge outside for them and put a big pat of butter on, and then that brings good luck to us. So here's some other pictures of the Tomtens and the Nisse in the barn, and for the father Tomten, that's a really big thing to get that big pat of butter. So when we were in Norway with our kids, they also do that there. And so they would go out to either the shed or the garage and put a bowl of porridge out, and probably the neighborhood dog or cat ate it, but the tradition kind of stays on. The Yule Goat is also an important thing, kind of works with Santa a little bit and helping. Instead of reindeer pulling the sleigh, the Yule Goat might help to deliver the packages to the children. Romjula is the time between Christmas and New Year's, and it's a very special time in Norway. It's a very quiet time. When we were there, a lot of the stores were closed most of the time between Christmas and New Year's, so especially in the small towns. So it's meant to be a time where you spend it with family, you play games, you go skiing, you spend time outside, you're reading, you're just spending quality time with your family. Another tradition is Julebukking. Julebukking is kind of a combination between trick-or-treating and caroling. And so you dress up, and these are some pictures of people from Norway that are Julebukking. And so you're supposed to dress up so people don't know who you are. And then you're to go to the neighbor's house and knock on the door, and they're supposed to give you a treat. And so typically, you get cookies or candy or fruit and so forth. So our lodge likes to go Julebukking too. So we go to some of our older members, and many times they'll have treats for us, whether they're baked goods or beverages or something like that. So Christmas is a very, very special time in Norway. We want to wish you a Merry Christmas or God Jul when you get to December. And it's again a pretty fun time to celebrate that. So anyway, so thank you for tuning in. I hope you learned a little bit about Christmas traditions. And this December, when it comes December 11th, we have our family Christmas event at Sons of Norway, and you can come and enjoy our free photos with Santa, our dollar shopping area. We have a bake sale, we have a breakfast, and we have crafts for you to do. So because this is virtual this year, that'll be a good chance for you to come down and take advantage of that. Thank you.